G'day guys, welcome back. I'm using my big 32 centimeter silicone mold tray today. Now what I'm going to do something I've never done before. Again, because I love trying new things. I have cut a piece of foil to fit my tray. I made it a tiny little bit bigger. And because it wasn't wide enough, I've actually joined two pieces together with a piece of tape. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to crinkle this. All right, here we go. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Make it nice and tight. I might crinkle it a couple of times actually, I don't know. So what I did was I found a tray that I had previously made. Oh God, now I've got to try and uncrinkle it without tearing it. So I found a tray that I'd previously made and I traced around it onto my foil and cut a circle out. Okay, so this is a little bit trickier than I thought to uncrinkle it without tearing it. That's the only thing. So let me just do this. Hang on. You've got to take your time. Don't rush. Right, so I uncrinkled it. I got some holes and some tears, and when I put it back in, it has, look, it's shrunk a lot around the edges because of all the crunching. Same thing happens with the crushed velvet. I just didn't think it would do so much because when I cut it out, I'd cut on the outside of the line. So I'm going to do it again. Now this bit here, you can see this bit here is less crinkled, and that's the bit that had the tape on it. So I'm going to cut another piece, and I'm going to put the tape over the whole back, and I'm going to cut it that much bigger all the way around. After I've drawn my line around my other tray that I've made, I'm going to cut that much around it. All right, so I'm going to do that and I'll be back. So look, it's good learning what doesn't work, and it shouldn't tear or have holes because it's got the tape on the back. So I'll go and do that. So here's my next piece. It's got the tape, just packing tape on the back, and you can see my initial line, and then I just cut that much on the outside. But I do need to take that line off now because I should have actually put it on the back, made the line on the back. But anyway, I'm just going to use a bit of alcohol on my baby wipe, and I'm just going to rub my line off. Otherwise, the line will be in your resin. So let's just take that off. It's good that you learn what not to do, don't you think? Like, I've never done this before. As I said to you before, I've never done it with foil before. I've done it with the plastic, with the crushed velvet lots of times, but not with the foil. So it's a different creature. All right, so there's my ink. I'll keep that baby wipe for later. All right, so here we go. I'm going to crush it again, and then once I've done that, I'll talk to you about what these two things are here, all right? Here we go. Let's crush. And I think I'll just crush again like I did before, because look at that. Oh gosh, so much easier, so much easier. I'm not going to throw this other one out though. I'll still keep it because it's got a very, very fine texture in there with the crushed in the center. So that's not damaged. It's just the edges that are damaged. So I'll keep that, and it might be good for like a coaster or some jewelry or something. So I'll pop that in my little drawer and decide what I want to do with it later. Now I'm going to crush it again. It's crushed velvet with foil. Aluminum foil, as you call it over in the States, hey? We call it aluminium, and you call it aluminum. Tin foil, whatever you want to call it. So that still be careful, you know, when you're straightening it out. Okay, that's better. If you find that it's, you know, too big, once you've flattened it out, I do need to flatten it out though. Once you flatten it out, and just so that it's lying flat, because I'm going to pour resin over it, so I do need it to lie flat. If you find that it's too big, that you've cut it too big, then, you know, you can just trim. I think it's better to have it too big than too small. Oh gosh, how am I going to lie that flat now? So I'm going to pour on the, sort of one side's more dull. This is more like a dull side and the other side's more shiny. So I'm going to pour on the shiny side. It doesn't want to lie flat though. It's probably because of the tape. Probably because of the tape. But I don't think it'll matter for what I'm going to do. Now I'm probably going to have to trim this down a little bit now, aren't I? Oh, we're still fitting in the frame. Okay. Look, now it's too big. The first one was too small and now this one's too big. Anyway, we can just do it like that. Push in like that. Actually, maybe it'll kind of hold better if I leave it like that. I'm assuming resin's going to come off this. I'm going to make a bowl and I'm going to try and attempt to, I don't know whether it's going to be a bowl or maybe it'll be a slightly drippy bowl. I was going to do a drip bowl and then I thought, oh, it'd be nice looking like it's, you know, crushed ice type thing. Actually might just, look, I'm just going to leave it like that rather than try and cut it and then, you know, that's probably a better idea. And then, you know, you risk the resin running underneath. So yeah, I think that'll be a better idea. And then it's kind of lying flat as well. The only thing is the crinkling of this may be left in your silicone mold. I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. Yay, I've done it. I have a nice shiny crinkled effect. Now, these things. These are round adjustable legs. See, it's got a nice flat base on it. So I think it'd be great for draping over. You can put something else on top, like a bigger container if you wanted it to be wider, but it's got the nice height and I like it because it's got this stable base. They come in lots of different lengths. You may have seen me using my really big one when I did that really big bowl. So, but yeah, I just like it how it's got the little base. That base isn't as big. I don't think I think I'll need this one, but you can decide like which height you're going to need because once you've popped it over, it may drip a little bit further. Anyway, I'll use either one of those. So I'll pop them aside. I wanted to get all that done before I mixed up my resin. I haven't mixed it up yet, so I'll go and do that in a minute. I'm going to put a couple of drops of this Ocean Resin tint. It's by Colour Passion. And just have a really pale blue. All right, I'm going to do that. Now, I mixed up 300 grams of A and 130 grams of B. So I've got 430 grams. If you want to know what that is in ounces, just divide it by 30. I know it's like 28 is to be exact, but I do 30. So close enough. So I did 5 drops of this Ocean Resin tint and that's the colour I got. Really pretty. Right, and it won't be that dark because this is going to be poured thinner. I don't want a really thick bowl, but on the other hand, if I might spray it actually, if I make it too thin, like the depth, and then it drips a lot, it's going to like stretch like that candy that they stretch. Oh, there's something wrong with my nozzle. It's not spraying properly. So I thought I better not make it too thin. I'm just going to pour put a little bit of alcohol on this because it's quite textured now, you know. I'm going to have to try and clean my nozzle. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not spraying very well. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. Now, if you didn't want it quite so textured, so scrunched, you could just scrunch it once. You know, the first time I did it, and then I opened it up and I thought, oh, I wanted a bit more. But if you don't want it quite so scrunched, then just do it once. And I did it twice. I don't know that I want any more. Oh, a little tiny bit over here. We haven't quite gone to the sides yet. Make sure we go to the sides. Oh, look, I probably will use it all. It's not much. There's only like a half an inch down the bottom there, as in the top, as opposed to the top. I always find that hilarious when the people say there's half left in the bottom of the cup. Well, it's not going to be in the top of the cup, is it? Small minds. There we go. Okay, so that was 430 grams. Oh, look at it! It just looks like it's glass, doesn't it? Now, I won't torch just yet because the alcohol that was on the bottom has come to the surface. So wait until it has evaporated before you go torching. If I had to torch now, just remembering I've got gloves now, what would happen if I torched now and flames came up and hit my gloves? So just think about things like this, okay? Think about safety with your alcohol. If you don't use alcohol, then it's not as dangerous. But just be aware that if you've got gloves on and you've got flames coming up, it could be awful. Right, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do now. In a little while I'll torch it, and then what I'll do is I'll probably, once this is nearly ready, I'll move this and I'm going to put some plastic down on my table just in case if it drips a lot, I'm going to end up with resin blobs on my board here, and I don't want that, so I'll cover it with some plastic just in case. But yeah, I don't know if I want it to be drippy or if I just want it to be plain. I kind of do want it to be drippy. I've been wanting to do that for a while, so I think I'll probably use this long one, and I need to find a container that will sit over it to make it a bit wider, because I don't want it otherwise it's going to be this narrow, which is fine if you're doing just a sculpture and you want a long thin sculpture, that's fine, but it's also got this edge on it. I don't know if you can take it off, then you'll end up with a hole in the So anyway, I will find something to put over the top of that this can drape over. And the other reason I think is a good idea to put the plastic on the back, if I just use the foil, when the time comes to like drape that over, like it may actually tear. Hey, so I think putting the plastic on the back was a good idea. All right, you guys, I'm going to come back and check it in about 2 hours and see how it's doing. If it's going to be, I need to be able to touch it without it obviously being sticky, but not too hard that it's not going to drip. So it's really tricky. I'm going to look at my clock now. It's 9:30 a.m. and we will see how long it takes. Okay, so it has been 2.5 hours. It's 12 o'clock. I can touch it. It's not sticking to me, but if I press on it, I can leave a fingerprint and a little dip. All right, so I think it's going to be ready to go. So I've just got a piece of plastic here. I just cut open one of my plastic bags just to put that there. I don't think it's going to drip a lot, you know. Where are we going? So this is just a bowl. Put this down for a minute. It's just a bowl. If you're going to do this, it's best not to have a bowl with a lip, because you want your resin to drop straight down. So a lip's better. It's better without a lip, and also a rim. It doesn't matter, it's got a bit of writing there. I think the tin foil will cover that anyway. So are we ready? Are we ready? I'll do it and then I'll show you like a side on, okay? Because it's a bit tricky. I don't even know how to do this without getting you out of view. I'll pop it there. All right, let's see if I can get this out. So we're taking the foil and the resin. Okay, taking the foil and the resin out. All right, there we go. That's out of the way. Now I can quickly move this back, and I'm going to pop that there. Oh, like so. Is it in the middle? Okay. Oh gosh. Foil, no, don't go. Oh god. Oh gosh. Hang on. Oh golly gosh. I didn't think to fold my foil over, did I? Gonna have to fold it back over. Yeah, I didn't think of that. There's only these little points here where the foil has folded. There we go. I'll just unfold it. It's still quite sticky. I'm going to have to... I didn't want to put gloves on because it's difficult to work in gloves, but I guess in hindsight I should have, because that's doing that. All right, let me just wash my hands real quick and I'll be back to you. So I've got it on. I took the bowl off and put a piece of plastic underneath just in case I had any bits of resin stuck to the bowl. But yeah, so I did that. Now, I don't know how much it's going to drip. So I'm going to get my heat gun out, just put it on low and just kind of warm the resin a little bit. I'm going to be careful because obviously there's tape, plastic tape underneath the foil, and I don't want to melt that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to get any drippage or not. I was thinking about taking it out at the 2-hour mark, but it was still really sticky. But look, we'll just practice, hey? So this is the 2.5-hour mark. And if it doesn't drip, that's okay. It'll still be a really pretty bowl. And then I'll do it again and do the 2-hour mark. The other thing, oh, so it's getting quite warm there. The other thing, the edges, the foil edges, I don't know whether or not they are going to prohibit the resin from dripping. So that's another thing we'll just have to wait and see, hey? But anyway, all right, I'm going to turn it off. If it wants to drip, it can drip. But yeah, there's bits of foil that on the edges that I think are going to stop it from dripping. See, I didn't think about that. Just put some alcohol on my gloves to wipe them. Yeah, I didn't think about the foil getting in the way. I've got a bit of drippage going on, a little bit. All right, I'm going to bring you down just so that you can see the sides. Oh dear, it's always fun and games in the studio, isn't it? I'm just trying to get gloves off. Okay, so I'll reuse my gloves. All right, let's get you down. Take you off the tripod. Okay, not you're going to really see all that much. There's a bit of drippage starting. I might, oh, no, I was going to snip it off, but see along there, there's some. So yeah, I was just a bit concerned. I haven't got it very level, have I? I've got less at this end and more at that end. Oh, there's a drip. I'd be so excited to see a drip. Oh my gosh, hang on, let me change focuses. There's a drip. It's always a challenge trying to focus. See, there's a nice edge there. So anyway, we'll give it some time, see what it does. And if it drips, then yay, and I'll have to tidy that up though. There's a drip, it's happening. So this is all I've got, the piece of plastic down here. But see, this edge here, there's no foil, there's no resin on the foil there, so I'm not sure whether or not that'll kind of stop the resin from dripping down or not. But either way, like, even if it doesn't drip a lot, it's still going to be really pretty once that foil comes out. If the foil will come out. I might heat it again. I'm going to zap it again with a heat gun and see what happens. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow when it's time to unmold. Right, guys, it's 4 p.m. So it's the same day. This feels really hard. The little drippy things are a little bit bendy still, but I'm excited. And while I was waiting for it to cure, I was thinking about all the things I could do differently next time. So there's my little bowl. I think next time I'll use a smaller bowl and make it smaller at the base. Right, so that's that. Move that out of the way. Look! It looks like some weird kind of octopus, doesn't it? I'll take my plastic away. I'll reuse my piece of plastic. Now, like I said to you, I did put a piece of plastic over the top of this. Just, I thought, in case I've dripped anywhere, I didn't want to get resin stuck on this because then I probably won't get it off. So the things I was thinking about while it was curing, a couple of things that I'll want to try next time. I'm going to use a bigger piece of plastic and a thicker piece of plastic, one that's going to allow the drips to drip down the plastic, because see where these have dripped? They've just kind of dripped into space, into nothing. And I'm just wondering if there was plastic below them, would it drip maybe slower rather than doing a long point like that, like an icicle? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try it. All right, now this is where it's going to get tricky. I have no idea if this foil is going to even come out. Oh gosh, what if it's stuck in there forever? Oh gosh. Because I think I said to you at the beginning, I don't know whether or not resin gets stuck to foil. Oh gosh. All right. See, now I can't get my arm in there to see if I can get this off. All right, let's try this. If it was plastic, you know, it would come off for sure. All right, I'm going to have a go and I'll come back. I'm just going to see if I can do it rather than me keeping you waiting. Okay, so where the edges were, you know how I said I'm worried about the resin going over those edges. So the resin's pretty much encapsulated those edges. I did manage to get a piece off here. But then this piece here, that's where I had that tape, and then this doesn't want to come off. So I think it's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and get that off. So I'm just going to actually fold it back. Because when I looked at it like that, like without the foil on it, it's not as pretty. I actually like it with the foil. So and the fact that I can't get it off. So live and learn, hey? Yet again, I learn the hard way. But look, I like it like that. I'm going to have to keep experimenting with trying to do the foil, because I really like it. I do. It doesn't look quite right because the foil edge just kind of stops here. So, yeah, that doesn't look exactly spot on. But if I do another one, the same, and put it in the middle and make like a sculpture. Otherwise, we'll just put this down to experimenting and move on. Some things work, some things don't work. But look, if you guys have managed to do something with foil, crushed foil, and peeled it out, let me know. And if you're in my Facebook group, Pouring Your Heart Out, you can show me what you've done. Because, yeah, I've seen people use foil, but I don't think I've ever seen people take the foil out. So it could just be because, you know, my foil is stuck down on the edges. I don't know. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put any more time into this. I really love the outside look of it. It looks amazing and it feels really smooth. But I'm in love with these drips, so I might just do a drip bowl and not worry about the foil for the next time. But we will revisit foil another time. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my video. Probably all laughing at me. That's okay. I'm laughing at myself. I can't believe I thought that the foil was going to come out. But anyway, there it is. It's quite attractive. It's very abstract. And yeah, it's not bad for a first attempt. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all again real soon. Okay, take care. Bye for now.